create a simple component. You can create table, etc. There's a lot of different components that are there here on this page. And you can use these components and compose your UI. So you see how easy it is, right? Salesforce gives you out-of-box capabilities, but then what we did is we combined both the out-of
Hello everyone, and welcome! I'm gonna turn the music down. How are y'all doing today? Very excited for the sentiment analysis session, even though I feel sleepy. Oh my goodness, I feel that. I'm so glad you're here though. We're gonna have a really fun time today. Hello everyone. Hello! Oh my goodness, I feel like the lag is catching up now and everyone's here. Is this a technical event? Yes, this is a technical event. We're going to be building something using sentiment analysis together. We have 2 hours together to build something. It's going to be super fun. Hello. Oh, there are a ton of people here right now. I'm so excited to be building with you all today. If you can let me know if the balance between the music and my voice is okay. I know that sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Are we going to use an API for this? Yes, we are going to be using an API for this. Never learned sentiment analysis. Honestly, I've never used it before now either, so you get to see, along with me, a beginner's look, just we're starting from scratch together. Wikipedia, yes, we're gonna start on Wikipedia today, because I have a couple ideas on where we can go with this, and I wanna get your all advice on where you think. What's the third app in my taskbar? That is Zettler. It's a markdown editor. Is this event related to ML? Yes, but we aren't going to be training a model specifically ourselves. We're just going to be working with an existing model. There are a couple that we can go with, some in Google Cloud, with TensorFlow. There are a couple different options that we're going to talk about in a bit. Hello. My Twitter handle. Okay, actually, that's a good... Oh, wait, before we get into that, is ML a prerequisite? No. I have a little bit of experience with machine learning, but you don't need to know anything about it to be doing this with me today. As I've mentioned, I'm coming into this completely new to sentiment analysis. I've never touched it before. So you get to see with that, and if you have no experience with it, you can do this as well. Am I using Windows 11? No. I just highly customize my desktop using something called Rainmeter, and it's super fun because I like the way that my desktop looks now. Are you using g.colab? Don't know what that is. I was not planning on it, no. But it seems really interesting. Thank you. I appreciate it. Google Colab. Okay, I'll need to look into that for the future. Okay. But now that it seems like everyone's here, and we're all chill and ready to start doing some sentiment analysis, let me just talk a little bit about what's scrolling down below me on the bottom of the screen. So if you want to check in to get points for this event for your guild, make sure to go to hackp.ec/moody. That's the link to check in for this event. If you want to hang out with more people just like yourself in MLH, the Major League Hacking community, you can go to discord.mlh.io. It's a super cool community of people just like yourself. If you aren't already in there, I highly recommend it. And when you're making stuff during this session or this entire weekend, make sure you tweet at us at MLHacks. If you want to tweet at me, which I'd really appreciate if you build something during this session, at Nathan Dimmer, and make sure you use the hashtag #LocalHackDay. A G-Colab is basically cloud-based Jupyter notebooks. Okay, so we're not going to be building this in a Jupyter notebook today. I know that, because I'm going to try making this in a way that it can interact with other things. This is going to be fun. It is. This is going to be super fun. Twitter handle, at Nathan Dimmer. So, okay, let's just get into it. Where can we see our points? There's going to be scoreboard streams that happen, I think, every day. I don't know when the next one is off the top of my head, but I know it's going to be soon. What should we prefer, CodeLab or Jupyter? I've only used Jupyter before, but we're not going to be using either of those today. Sentiment analysis works on Blahage. Blahage is always positive, so there's no reason to do a sentiment analysis. Can you drop your Twitter handle in the chat? Sure. Tweet at us at MLHacks, at Nathan Dimmer, and use hashtag #LocalHackDay. Hello to the people just joining us. What's my typing speed? I actually have no idea. It's not slow, but I don't think it's the fastest. How to mention tweets for completing the post challenge. I actually don't know that one. I believe you just need to make sure you at MLHacks and use the hashtag #localhackday. I'm actually like 90% sure that that's the right thing. Attendance form. That's also scrolling on the bottom of the screen. hackp.ac/moody. So check in. That should have just gone out in chat for y'all. Okay. My goodness, my phone is blowing up as y'all have started following me. I need to put it on Do Not Disturb. Hey! We're just vibing for a bit, waiting for me to make sure that all of my devices stop blowing up with everything y'all are doing with my Twitter and all of that right now. Thank y'all for the support. Okay, prereqs for this session. Literally nothing. Being on the live stream is basically the main prereq for this. What's the tech stack? We're going to be talking about this. Okay, hello. Let's just get into this. I'm thinking there are a couple ways to approach this. And one, we could do like the pretty theoretical approach, and we could just like try using Google's machine learning API that does sentiment analysis, and just like work with that, see what it can do, kind of mess around with that. Or we could make something specifically targeting Twitter to like get tweets and then analyze the sentiment of the tweets. Or we could do something, I was doing some research for this, and there's a really interesting way where you can do Android app development and run your model directly on the device and then sync it with Firebase, which I think could be really interesting. So I kind of have 3 ideas where we could go with this. And I'm curious to see what y'all's thoughts are. Thank you for the comment. If you can't tell, you're in my college dorm room. Very limited space. This is the best spot for my computer. You get to see all of my shirts and my various hoodies. I'm sad that you're leaving, but I hope that you enjoy class. Reconnect my microphone? So I am on dorm Wi-Fi, so we'll see. That might be cutting out on occasion. Okay. Is Firebase used to store data? It is basically just a method of doing a whole lot of stuff with cloud in general all at once. So it can be your database, it can be your authentication, it can be your hosting, it can be some of your deployment, your analytics. It can do a whole lot of stuff. I go to the University of Michigan. Okay. I really am thinking that it would be cool to do the... are we going to use some API? Well, that's actually what we're talking about right now. I think it would be really cool to do the one that's running natively on an Android phone. But we could also do the one that's analyzing Twitter. And I guess those are your options. Twitter or Android. Type one of the two in chat, whichever one you want to see. And I'll take like kind of a look at what y'all are saying. And we'll go from there where we want to go. It's a choose your own adventure. Twitter. It is. It's happening, and you're here. It looks like the chat is totally decided on Twitter, which I support wholeheartedly. A lot of Twitter. Wow, a lot of Twitter. Everyone has said Twitter. Okay. Let's do this. So, sentiment analysis. I had this Wikipedia article up just so that you could see it. It's basically used to systematically identify, extract, quantify, and study affective states and subjective information. So the way that I'm kind of thinking about it is basically it is for if you can tell that something was positive or negative or like angry or kind of getting emotions out of it. That's what I'm trying to do with it today. You can probably do a lot more than that. So like in their simple cases, pastel-colored 1980s day cruisers from Florida are ugly. It would say that that's negative. And then here are some like more challenging examples. I do not dislike cabin cruisers, which has like negation handling. It's pretty interesting. So we aren't going to be writing the code to do this ourselves, but we're going to be using an external API. And y'all said Twitter. So let me pull up what I'm looking for here. because I did find something earlier on how to work with Twitter and sentiment analysis. Okay. So, because y'all are joining me for the full process here, you're going to get to see what I do when I'm approaching a problem like this. So we want to make something with sentiment analysis, and we want to build it with Twitter. So I was just kind of poking around before the stream, looking at sentiment analysis, and I thought of Twitter, and I thought of Firebase, and I kind of put those words together, and I found this Medium article that walks through setting up using NLP and a Twitter-like scraper to do natural language processing. And as you can see, it's not a super in-depth tutorial, but hopefully it'll give us a little bit of a starting base to go from for all of this. So yeah, I'm finding a tutorial and we're going from there. Let's go over to the GitHub repo and open up the NL Firebase Twitter. And we can see it's split into, yeah, I'll post the Medium article. And I want to be very clear, I don't know if this is especially good. This is just what I found beforehand when I was doing my research. And we're going to just be following this together to take a look. It links to some code here, which 170 lines in the back end. And a pretty small front end. So hopefully we can make this in the time that we have. With that, let's just jump into it and take a look. So, okay. In this post, they're doing a deep dive of the demo for the natural language API. Okay. So this is the Google Cloud API that we're going to be using. And on the back end, they wrote a node server that streams tweets using the Twitter streaming API. And it sends the text of each tweet to the natural language API, which then writes the natural language API response to with Firebase into our real-time dashboard. And BigQuery for analysis when we're done collecting the data. So the architecture looks something like this. So we take from Twitter, we go to the natural language processing API, then we send it to a Firebase database and BigQuery. So what tools, this is kind of the tech stack laid out that they used in this tutorial. We're going to see if this is successful with us. We might need to pivot halfway through this stream. And that's just what programming looks like. This is, like I've mentioned before, this is what the process is that I go through when I'm trying to learn a new skill or build something in a hackathon. So I'm just going to try doing this, and we're going to see if it works. So, okay. Using the Twitter npm package, I create a client with my API credentials and stream tweets containing a few search terms. So, search terms. Ooh. Do channel points contribute to something? You can use channel points to make your message show up kind of funky and get specific emotes, I believe. We don't use them for all that much. Okay. This is not at all in depth. This is very lightweight as tutorial articles go. So we're going to break it up into two parts. We're going to first do pulling tweets from Twitter, and then we're going to do analyzing them using natural language processing. So let's start with how to scrape tweets from Twitter. Shallow? What are you making fun of me for? If you look at this, it doesn't give a full walkthrough. It gives us a couple snippets, and it links us to their GitHub, which when I'm looking for something like this, I'm looking for something that's slightly more than that, because like I said, don't have much experience with machine learning, with natural language processing, and I've never scraped from Twitter outside of very specific environments before. So I'm looking for something that's a little bit more than just what we were given. Can you Google and understand in front of us? Well, that's kind of the whole point of these, in my opinion, is to show you that a lot of the programming content that's out there is very polished and they know exactly what they're doing when they get live. And I think that kind of makes people think that they're worse programmers than they are. Because programming, in my opinion, is a lot more about learning and problem solving and thinking rather than just memorization. So this is how to scrape tweets from Twitter. Tweepy versus get old tweets 3. Okay? Tweetfeed is a Python library for accessing the Twitter API. Let's take a look at what Tweetfeed offers. Oh, this is like the official Twitter API now. Okay. Build for fun. We need to apply for access to the Twitter API. Oh. Post, interact, retrieve data. Oh wait, I think people are posting in chat some recommendations. Twitter API client for Node. I'm just gonna Google that. Twitter API client Node. Okay, so first we need a Twitter developer account. So I'm going to pull this off the live sharing side of my screen. And I'm going to sign to my Twitter account, and I'm going to apply for a developer account. And I think you probably should too. Apply. Okay. Apply for a developer account, and I'm ready. If this starts to dox me, oh, okay. I would call myself a hobbyist. I'm just exploring the API at this point. Start application. Let's get started. Okay. Let's add a phone number. Oh. Here we go. Okay. And I put my phone on Do Not Disturb earlier because y'all were tweeting at me. And now we need the confirmation code. Perfect. Now that I have a phone number, hobbyist, explore the API, get started. Okay. So I needed to not show you one step of it, because at that point I was going to be doxing all of my personal information. But basically what we did was I searched for the Twitter API client for Node. And then when I was here, I clicked this here, right here. And then once I did this, I scrolled down to build for fun. And then I clicked apply. But there's also an apply button up there that you could click. Check-in link is going down on the bottom of the screen, hackp.ac/moody. Sorry I didn't show the screen, didn't want to show my personal phone number to the world on Twitch. Okay, and now I just need to describe what I want to use this for. I want to use the Twitter API to do sentiment analysis on common and popular topics to determine the overall tone of the discourse around current and past events. More specifically, I want to see if different topics have different emotional loading. So that's going to be my application for the Twitter API. It won't use any of those. Yes. Your product, so no, not to a government entity. Okay, so we're going to be doing two things. We are going to, I am going to be analyzing individual tweets for their emotional loading and tone through natural language processing. I plan to show that data on a external dashboard that is available to the public to see said analysis. Okay, so that's applying for the Twitter API. We're going to click Next. Next. Don't have time to read that right now. Okay, my application has been submitted. Check my email. Confirm my email. Oh. And there we go. We're set. Yes, I obviously read all of that. What keyboard do I use? It's a Keychron Key something wireless. I believe Key 2 wireless. So it's a 10 keyless keyboard, wireless Cherry MX Brown switches. No, Gatron Browns. Okay. So we're into the Twitter developer dashboard. Didn't expect that. I'm sorry. I don't know about how international pricing works. In the US, it's honestly one of the cheapest mechanical keyboards for the quality. Okay, let's create a project, and we're gonna call this Moody Tweet. Next. Building consumer tools as a hobbyist. Project description. Analyzing the sentiment of current discourse. Name our app. Moody Mad Eye. I love it. Very good. Oh. Here are all my tokens, which I'm just trying to dox for as little time as possible. They're probably going to show up anywhere as I program this anyway. Okay. Okay. Showed the API key. Yeah, it's a risk of being on stream. I'll need to regenerate them once I'm offline. Okay. So we now have Moody Tweet that's set. Wait, can I change? Okay, so the project is Moody Tweet, but the app is Moody Mad Eye. Okay. And I need to be very careful of that button right there. Okay. Now what? How to use projects. Tools and libraries here. Oh wait, actually, let's just go down to the tutorials. Twitter API. Oh. So I am in a college dorm room right now, so my internet is going to be super spotty. It will occasionally come and go. I'm glad I'm back though. Yeah, dorm Wi-Fi. Okay, going a bit too fast. We only have 2 hours together, so I am kind of just going as through things as we go. But really, all that we've done so far is we've created a Twitter developer account. Ooh, it isn't back for some people. It shows that it's back for me though. All we've really done is signed up for a Twitter developer account. So you can actually probably just Google how to get a Twitter developer account, and you can find it there. Also, someone just said we can watch it again. Yes, the VOD for this is going to be up on Twitch and YouTube after we're done. Yes, how can you find a recording? It's going to be up forever on YouTube and for about like 2 weeks on Twitch. God, let's take a look. Twirl is... Build an app to stream tweets in real time. Cat. My Google Calendar was just telling me about something. Oh crap. My Google Calendar is booked for this. Interesting. We'll find out about that after I'm offline. Okay. So their real-time tweet streamer like glitch project is broken. But, copy. New developer portal experience. We have those, and we have a project. We need Node, we need NPM, and we need NPX. Ooh, okay, we're going to be creating a React app. Is the recording available? Oh, recording is available. Okay. So I'm going to open up VS Code, and I wonder what I was last editing in VS Code. We're going to see. Ooh, a Twine game from one of my classes. We're going to close out of here. We're going to do a new window. And in here, actually, let me create a folder for this first. It seems so complicated, so currently all we've really done is set up a Twitter developer account. And it might get complicated from here because we've opened up Visual Studio Code. The time for actually writing code has arrived. But up to this point, we've just created a developer account. Give me a second to just make a folder for this project. It's Moody Mad Eye. Okay. So let's open up that folder. Perfect, here we go, okay. Cut. How much time do we have for this? We have about an hour and a half left together on stream. Okay. So we have this. Now, according to our tutorial, to open up the terminal there, I just did Control, and then tilde, Control, and then the key below Escape for me. And then we're going to be running an npm command, npx create react app, and we're going to call it, they call it real-time tweet streamer. So, do we want to keep that? No, let's call it Moody Mad Eye. what is sentiment analysis? So sentiment analysis is using natural language processing, or NLP, to determine the sentiment behind text. So we're going to be looking at tweets to determine if they're happy, sad, angry, whatever. It's going to be really interesting. We only have an hour and a half, so we'll see how far into it we get, but you'll see the entire process with me. The Discord music bot was OP. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. It's really cool. For those of you who don't know, 2 days ago, on Sunday, we created a Discord music bot live on stream together. Why Windows? Because when I bought my computer, the M1 chip didn't exist, so Macs were an interesting value proposition, and for my non-programming classes, Windows is just a lot easier for me to use than Linux, because I do a lot of photo and video editing, and it all just kind of works on Windows, but I respect anyone who uses Mac OS and Linux. This is a good time if you want to ask me any questions, because we are just waiting for NPX to continue running here. NPX will do the npm init for you, I believe. What tech stack do I normally work on? So when I was doing hackathons, I would normally work in one of two tech stacks. One would be Flutter Firebase. For those of you who don't know, Flutter is a front-end toolkit that's cross-platform for iOS, Android, Windows, Mac, web, IoT, created by Google, and it's really interesting. And then for backend, we'd use Firebase, which I talked about a little bit earlier. It's like an all-in-one Google Cloud solution for authentication, database, and analytics, cloud functions, like a whole bunch of really interesting things. I was mostly a front-end dev myself, so I didn't deal with that as much, but I've been using it more and more, and it's really nice. And then if I wasn't building in Flutter, I was going to be building a React app, traditionally using the Material UI toolkit, and then again, connecting that to Firebase. Dorm tour, we don't have time for that today, but who knows, maybe petition Ryan, and we can do a coach's living space live stream where we all show you where we live. Azure or AWS, Google Cloud. Hello. Can you share the GitHub repo? I'm not currently using a GitHub repo, so I can't share that right now. Depending on where we get, I might create a GitHub repo at the end to submit this at the same way that I'd submit it for any of y'all for the challenge today. And if I do that, which fingers crossed we will, then you'll be able to get the code there. Flutter, React Native. I personally used Flutter before I used React Native, but they both have pros and cons. Okay, there we go. Now we have npx done. Do you upload it on GitHub or Replit? Replit. I personally do GitHub. Okay. Now I want to change directory into it. So cd moody mad-eye. And then package.json. We're going to use this for our scripts block. Scripts. Can you explain more details in every step? So let me paste the Twitter tutorial that I'm currently following into the chat. Because currently I'm just going through their tutorial. I've done really 3 things. 1, I've created a developer account. I've run this command, npx create react app, and then I named it moody mad-eye. And then I've just moved into it and I'm editing the package.json file. Package.json controls in npm which different external APIs and scripts you're going to be using. How did you get involved in MLH, and when did you get involved in MLH? I got involved at MLH at a hackathon in Michigan called GrizzHacks 3, and it was back in 2018, I believe, maybe 2017. It was a couple of years back. And then I just did hackathons ever since. It was an amazing experience. I was actually on a team with the Jacqueline Biggin, if you've seen her around in the MLH community, and it just got me hooked on hacking. What is React? It got answered in chat as well. It's an open source front-end framework maintained by Facebook. Basically, when you're writing code for the web, you can write everything yourself, and you technically could, but there's a lot of stuff that can be kind of a pain to deal with, and that stuff is made more easy or made easier by libraries and packages. And there are a bunch of them that do this sort of thing. React and Angular are popular ones that are kind of the old guard. React is the more popular nowadays, I believe, than Angular, but there are some new ones that are coming up as well. Some of you will know of Vue. Svelte is coming up and being popular. There are a bunch of them, but they handle like controlling, updating variables, so that you don't need to do document.getID whatever to like edit HTML elements by yourself, and it allows you to embed JavaScript more easily into the framework of your site. It allows you to iterate over things for lists, real-time updating. It's a bunch of really cool syntactic sugar. Why do you like front-end? More front-end? Oh, what do you like? More front-end or back-end? Currently, my skill set is much more front-end than back-end. Next is the new React. Next, to my knowledge, is a static site framework. Oh, it can also be used to do, hybrid and server rendering. I'm not going to agree completely there, because I believe that they serve different purposes, especially in a hackathon environment, where your object is not necessarily like all of your smart bundling, route prefetching, and like server-side rendering, but more just getting a prototype working and showing. I'm sure that it adds some nice syntactic sugar and things like that to allow you to do things better, but I don't think it's going to completely, I don't think it's just the new React. Let's continue building, please. You know you aren't wrong. Ooh, okay. After updating the script section, our package should look like this. Okay, and now remove all files within the src subdirectory. So they want to do that through a command. I'm just going to do this with the GUI. Boink, all gone. Oh, I like your Googling skills, thank you. It is what I love about these streams, is I don't know everything, but I know how to Google it and look it up and learn. Hopefully y'all are learning along with me. Okay, create a new file within the src subdirectory called index.js, and the code file will be as follows. New file, index.js. Import React from React, import React DOM, import app from components app, and then we render. Okay. This is going about it slightly differently than I'm used to with React, using React DOM, which I haven't used before. But we're learning. Okay. So, just saw this. I'm going to be doxing myself this entire live stream. So we're just going to make a pinky promise in chat that while I am live, and for like 15 minutes afterward, while I'm going to be resetting all my API keys, you aren't going to use these to like mine cryptocurrency or like spam tweet or anything weird like that. Can we pinky promise? Chat, we're pinky promising right now. Okay, I think we've pinky promised. Y'all are going to see all my API keys. But we're going to be cool with that. Make an environment variable and clear the terminal. Yeah, but people have pinky promised. No trust policy. Let me double check some things really quickly. Because if it's easy for me to create a custom environment variable for this really quickly, then I'm going to do it. If not, we're just going to need to pinky promise. Okay. So what I'm going to be doing is, in the root of my project, I'm going to be adding a new file that's just going to be .env, and in this I'm going to be defining my API keys. So I'm going to walk you through what I'm doing. And then I'm going to paste in the keys separately. I hope y'all understand why I don't want to just reveal my API keys more than I already did for that brief second. Okay. So we're going to define a couple of variables. And what is Twitter asking us to do? The Twitter bearer token. And we're going to set that equal to something. Let me take a look in secret at the three, because there are three different keys. Okay, I think we're just going to need the bearer token, which I'm actually just going to regenerate right now and copy it. And then I'm going to paste it right here, but I'm going to do that off live stream sharing. And I'm going to save the file and close it. So y'all notice that there's a .env file now that has been edited, that is there. That contains my bearer token. Because we're trying not to get banned off Twitter today. Okay, so now, oh. I'm slightly foolish, because I read this before I realized what it was. I thought this would go into the code. No, this is asking us to do that in the shell. Okay. Okay. Well, we did that through the .env. Now let's look at the server-side code. Okay, before we get cd to the project root directory, glad to hear it. Okay, so we're in the root directory. And then we're going to install concurrently express body parser util request http socket.io path proxy middleware road. A lot of things. We're going to install everything that it needs us to do. So we're just going to copy and paste that. And while this is running, I'm going to scroll back up and see what people are asking in chat. What is Rust used for? Rust is a really interesting language that's designed to be in between the level of like a really high level language like Python and a lower level language like C++. In terms of specifically like memory management is a lot of the things that I've heard about it, in that it doesn't have like a garbage collector that's doing things for you, but it's a lot harder to shoot yourself in the foot with than C++. So it's used for a lot of lower level things like operating systems, but in this instance it can compile to WebAssembly, which can then run on the web. But we aren't using that today. Okay, so now, let's do an Npm Audit Fix, because we have a critical vulnerability, and that is not something we want. They all required manual review, in which case we're not going to fix them live on stream. So just this is not production ready code, because as you can see, we have 27 vulnerabilities, one of them is critical. Okay. Next, while still within your project root directory, create a new subdirectory server, and then create server.js. Okay. See, I think they're assuming that I'm on okay. Yeah, touch is not a thing on Windows. So I'm just going to go in here manually, new file, boop, server.js. You should probably just Google that because I have a functional knowledge of Node, and Node is the Node package manager, and it deals with all your packages for a Node project, and React runs within Node, but I only have a functional knowledge of it, so I'm not the expert to ask that question of. Okay, so we have that file. Let's go back to our tutorial. Whew, okay. Now the question is it going to walk us through this one at a time? No. It basically just says copy and paste this. So let's, in server.js, paste this, and let's read through it and see what we can understand. Okay. So we're going to use all the things that we installed earlier. We create an Express app, and we give it the port 3000. We create two requests, post and get. And then, why is body parser crossed out? Oh, it's deprecated, okay. We create a server, use socket.io. Hey, there's our bearer token that is in that forbidden.env file. Stream URL. Rules URL, error message, auth message. Okay. So this is going to be, wow, okay. This is apparently just like the magic sauce that Twitter's just given us to like do everything that we're especially looking for getting tweets. Works for me. If we had more time than 2 hours, I would make sure to go through this and read all of it and understand it. But since we have 2 hours, we're gonna move on. Yes, Windows subsystem for Linux does make things a lot easier. I don't have it personally set up. I probably should. Is this full file or snippets? This is full file. So right here, the source code file will contain all your backend logic, and the contents of your server.js file will be as follows. So we just took it right from here. Again, I'm going to drop this tutorial link in chat if you don't have it open. We take it right from here, and we just paste it right in there. Filtering tweets. Okay, so the filtered stream has two endpoints, a streaming endpoint, and a rules and endpoint. Okay, this filtered stream lets you define search queries called rules in order for it to know what kind of tweets to send to you. Okay. The other filtered stream endpoint is the streaming endpoint, which simply uses a GET connection. Okay. We're going to work with that later, but that's good to know. The next step is to work on the following React components. So app.js, the parent component that will in turn render all other components. Navbar.js displays the navigation bar for navigating between the tweet feed and managing rules. Tweet.js, which displays a tweet on the page. Tweetfeed.js, which renders multiple tweets into a feed. Rules, which renders a rule on our stream. Rule list, which renders multiple rule components and displays. Error message, and spinner. Okay, pretty self-explanatory so far. Semantic UI. I don't remember ever knowing about semantic UI before this, but it seems pretty popular. Okay. I didn't know that this existed. This is really cool. This is really cool. I support this wholeheartedly. Okay. Glad I learned about this. I'm going to look into this later. Okay, we're going to be using semantic UI then. And Twitter is being wholesome in its developer platform documentation. This is really nice. Okay. So we're going to head tag index.html. So right in here under the head tag, we're going to link that. That doesn't feel like the best spot to put it, but it's going to work. I'm not writing pretty code today. Okay. Yeah, we'll need to get started with creating React components. Under src, create a directory called components. This is fairly standard for React apps. Components. And the source code files will be stored in this new directory. So app.js. Oh wow, they're just giving us everything. Do we literally just click this and copy it all? Yep, we do. And then we just paste it in. Okay, let's take a look at this. This is, for those of you who are new to React, this is basically, the switch between light and dark theme is killing me. So the only solution I have is to make my VS Code light theme, which if you really want me to do, y'all can say light theme in chat, or dark theme if you want me to keep it dark, because I don't think the Twitter developer platform has a light or a dark theme. If you want light theme, let me know. Yeah, yeah, no, I was assuming as much. Yeah, everyone, okay, we are all in agreement that dark theme for VS Code is much better. Okay. So we're just creating a component. That is just gonna contain our other things and then route between them, okay. Now we're gonna create navbar.js. Is that capitalized? It was. And then we're going to copy this, boink, paste. Okay. 2 buttons. That makes sense. Does this imply that you code in light mode? If you do, that's fine? Or is this in response to hashtag coffin dance? If you code in light mode, please let me know. I have yet to meet someone who codes in light mode who is not me when I was doing my first hackathon. I quickly learned. Okay, now we're creating tweetfeed.js. Okay, this is the chunky boy. So this is one of my classmates, and in EECS 280, which is EECS 280, Electrical Engineering Computer Science 280, that is where it's like the data structures algorithms class at the University of Michigan. And are you programming it in light mode, or are you making the UI in light mode? Because there's a big difference. Do you use GitHub Copilot? No, I don't. Do many developers copy-paste code for navbar, etc.? Copy and paste, less so, but I know that I personally have kind of developed, when I was working in React very frequently, my own kind of style of library of components that I could use for navbars and things like that. We are, but at the same time, we now have an hour and 3 minutes remaining, so we're just going to keep flowing with it. Because the point of this is less to pull from Twitter and more to try doing sentiment analysis. We'll see if we get to that. But we did talk earlier that we wanted to do the Twitter part, and this is very interesting. This is kind of the beefy part of the code here, where it's pulling the tweets from the backend and then displaying them in a real-time uploading like feed. Again, if we had more time, we'd read through all of this and try to understand it, but we don't, so we're going to move on. Child component, okay. This is just a UI element. React Twitter embed? There's an existing React Twitter embed element? That's pretty cool. Okay. No. Yeah, we haven't defined that yet. Maybe we will in the future. Rule list, rule, error message. No, we aren't. Okay. So you just did tweet.js. So now rule list. Now, if we weren't just doing copy-paste mode on this, this would take a very long time, given the amount of lines that we now have running in our app. Rule.js. And then error message.js. Boop. Okay. Where should I learn backend properly? And then the response was copy and paste is the most important developer tool. Copy and paste is important. Where should you learn backend properly? Literally just choose a backend system that you want to learn. I personally recommend Google Cloud or Firebase. I've had really good experiences with both. And just go through some of their tutorials, go through some of their documentation, find some videos on YouTube, and just make things. Hackathons are the best time for that. Because you have more than 2 hours like we have on the stream, but you don't have infinite amount of time. So you need to make decisions and code quickly and just like kind of immerse yourself in it. Okay, this is error message, and then the spinner. Is that a joke about my copy pasting? How I've like coded hundreds of lines of code in the last like 5 minutes? Okay, proxy setup. I'm hoping that you're being sarcastic here. I'm assuming you are, but tone doesn't come across well in Twitch chat. I do recommend typing things out when you're doing tutorials, but again, we don't have the time for that right now. Okay, the final step. From our SRC directory, we're going to create setup proxy.js. Setup proxy.js, and I think I had the capitalization around that. I did, okay. Now we're ready to start with npm start, okay. Now considering that we've basically only copy-pasted, this is going to be interesting what went wrong here. npm start. Node env concurrently. Node underscore env is not recognized as an internal or external command. So we're having the error with node underscore env. So let's search. Okay, so it appears a lot. So let's node. Looking for node underscore env. Is an environment variable may pop in by it. Whoa, okay. Yeah, people are just telling me to install it. Let's try it. NPS, yes. Okay, package added. Let's try this again. Hey, thank y'all. Nope. Difference in NPM and NPX. NPM is the node package manager. NPX I've only seen used to create new node or React projects using templates. That's a super large oversimplification. You should Google that and see what other people are saying. But that's just like the difference that I've experienced. I do like my name being Nathos, though. I feel like I'm from a God of War game. Node env equal to development. What do you specifically mean by that? I don't know, honestly. Let's check our package.json. It's always a good place to start. Oh. Oh, that was literally just a command. Okay. Looks like it did something. Okay. Node env development concurrently, kill others. In package.json. I think this is what you meant. We're gonna try it. Can't hurt anything. It's already broken. Wait, did that just work right away? Was not expecting that, to be honest. Let's try this. Fingers crossed. In the development script, remove this. Try just doing this. We're gonna try it. Can't hurt anything. Ah. It did say listening on port 3001, but I believe one of those is for the front end, one of those is for the back end, given my previous sites experience. Hey, okay. So the only thing is, could not authenticate. Definitely thank you for this. Big props. My brain's just thinking about why my bearer token is not running. Because it did say, sadly, earlier, that node env is undefined, which means that we aren't getting our environment variables. So we're just going to try, at the beginning of this tutorial, I used the .env file, which, don't get me wrong, should do exactly the same thing that they want us to do. But we're going to try doing this instead. Again, I'm doing this kind of sneaky hidden away, because I don't want y'all to dox me. Yeah, see, that's not for assuming you're using bash as your shell. Let me try. Npm export for PowerShell. Okay, so it is just set. So we've talked about this earlier. Let's try this. What is it again? Twitter bearer token. We're going to restart the server now. I don't believe that .env is in SRC. It is not. It is just outside of it. Okay, we're going to try this again. Still undefined. Okay. So let's go back here. Development. We needed and, not, nope, wrong symbols. And concurrently. We're going to try this. Still getting that same thing. Node env is undefined. Okay. We're going to try doing something that might fix all of this. going to sign into Glitch, which if you've ever done any of the Python localhosts, you'll be used to using before. Let me sign in, and then we're going to try remixing it from there. For now, we can just enjoy the chill vibes with the lo-fi music. Signing in. The login does not seem to be liking me very much, which is unfortunate. We're just going to do this without logging in then, which I don't recommend because none of our stuff's going to get saved. Oh, wait. We've gotten some things in the chat. Try the same thing in CMD. Set command only works in CMD. Let's try it. Going to go off to the side, create a new, not PowerShell, but a new command prompt. We're going to set our environment variable. And we're going to see what happens. It's Twitter bearer token. I'm going to set this equal to the token, which is very long. Okay, we've done that in CMD now. And we're going to try terminating everything again and running it again, and we'll see what happens. Still no DNV is undefined. Okay. So what we're going to do instead is in glitch, I'm going to close out of all these. Okay, in glitch, I'm going to go to this.env. Oh, okay, wait, no, I need to sign in. One more second. Just enjoy the vibes. Okay. I've now remixed it. So we should be able to edit it. Can I show the .env file? If I were to show that, I'd dox myself. Oh? Wait, what's it supposed to be? ENV, right? Yeah, ooh. Okay. It's now spelled correctly, at least. We're going to try this one more time. And no, you can see that I have a CMD right there where I set it. Try reloading the shell. Let's just clear out of all my shells. Npm start. Did I need to go? Oh yeah, I need to go one more down. Now npm start. Oh, wait, now it says Node env is in development. Oh? So, the one issue, though, is if we do go to... we get the same thing. So we're going to try in the glitch app, we're going to set this right here to our environment variable. Again, off screen. If you've ever done the MLH Python localhost, you've used glitch before. It's loading. It's building. I'm going to move this back and just not show the env file again. Creating an optimized production build. We vibing. I don't know why it's building in production. That feels slightly excessive. But this is what Twitter has provided us. Oh! Okay. If we take a look at that, we'll see that it's working. So if we manage rules, and let's say we want to do let's look at the Twitter documentation for how they do rules to filter, how to build a rule. building a rule. Oh. Okay, we can just do a hashtag. So if we want to do hashtag local hack day, add rule. And if we wait for this to load, while this is loading, I'm going to look up glitch, NLP, and then what are we looking for? We're looking specifically for sentiment analysis. Okay, so let's just do node sentiment analysis. Let's try finding a tutorial. Wow. This is loading. Ooh, okay. Now it says still working, waiting for new tweets to be posted. Here's where y'all come in. Let's post some tweets using the hashtag local hack day. I'm going to post on my Twitter right now from my phone. I'm coding. Oh, it's working. We can see it live. Coding some live. Okay, I just tweeted as well. Haha! Okay, so now we know that we're pulling tweets, which, if we look in our source, in our app.js, actually in our tweet feed, it's working. Okay. What we're looking for is just the text. Okay. So it's tweet. I'm gonna look at this. No, not emoji. I think my right-clicking with emoji just, okay, there we go. Yeah, it is very cool. Okay, but now that we have our list of tweets, let's see where this is being stored, and then we'll start looking into doing node sentiment analysis. Because that was originally the point of this, was to do sentiment analysis, but we decided at the beginning that we wanted to make sure we could pull tweets from Twitter, and we've just gone down this adventure of how we pull those tweets live. So it's going to be in Tweetfeed. And it's going to be, we don't actually know where this text is stored. So if we inspect this, ooh, this is not going to be the best way to go about doing this. It's an iframe. Wait. Does this mean that the Twitter API that we've just been calling doesn't even provide the text from the tweet? Because that's what I was kind of confused when I was looking at this, because it looks like we're just getting the ID of all the tweets, and then it's just using a built-in renderer to render it. We might have just been bamboozled by the Twitter. Ask Google. We've been told ask Google. Big brain. Google's homepage is getting weirder and weirder. I had a conversation with someone about what was in an authentic chai tea, and it was a very interesting conversation, but now Google thinks that that's all I'm looking for. So, okay. It is there in tweets state in feed.js. Tweets state, you said? Because we have this. Okay, let's try just console logging. Oh, I'm closing out of this because it keeps redirecting console.log. And we're gonna do tweets dot. Ooh, this isn't a good type ahead. Okay. Data. And we're just gonna see what it is. I guess I need to tweet again. Hey, okay. Then tools, logs. Actually, not logs. We probably want tools, terminal. Or just logs? It didn't seem like it was actually giving us a console log output though. Okay. How to pull tweet text from. So today's stream right now is all about, at the beginning of this, we discussed what we wanted to do with sentiment analysis. And we talked about pulling from Twitter. So now we've just been trying to figure out the Twitter API. And you know what I just figured out? There's another API we could have used in Python that I was hesitant to use because it was in Python, but we could have served it in a Flask app. So, okay. We have half an hour left, so I'm going to ask y'all in chat. Do we want to talk about like what we could do with that? And I'll pull up what I can, and we'll get as far as we can in it. Twint. Didn't know about, hadn't heard of Twint before this. What do we want to do? Do we want to keep troubleshooting this, or do we want to try the Python? Either method is perfectly valid. Okay, I'm being told to look up Twint. Let's try it. That's pretty sick. Okay, so it looks like the common advice that people are looking for, or the common thing that people are looking for right now, is to switch to another method. And we have two things: sentiment analysis on text given by a user, or Twint. Which do y'all want to try? I think if we can probably get sentiment analysis text given by a user at least theoretically started. So let's try that. Sentiment analysis, and let's just do Python. Towards data science. We might have been slightly too ambitious trying to pull from Twitter in this, but that's a good thing. It's good to learn, and we got to learn so much about the Twitter API together. I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. How about sentiment analysis by Twitch live chat? So I know that Twitch's API is even more restrictive than Twitter's. So for the next 20 minutes that we probably have together before we're going to be posting this on GitHub and showing how we can submit for the challenge, yeah, MLH auth would be involved. It would be kind of a complex process. Let's just scroll through this. Okay. In this article, I will guide you through the end-to-end process of performing sentiment analysis on a large amount of data. Sounds perfect. We're using reviews.csv from Kaggle's Amazing Fine Food Reviews, or Amazon. I said amazing, okay. 674 megs. Might be a little bit much for my internet connection while streaming, but we're gonna try it. Let's wait before we download that and take a look at what they're doing. Okay. Okay, so step one, yeah, no, we're gonna download this. Give me a second. Okay, we start downloading. Oh, 11 seconds left. It's chugging along. And it already finished. Okay, I might have been ripping too hard on my dorm's Wi-Fi. Okay, so now that we have that download, we're gonna open up a Python file. So we're gonna just new window here. We're gonna open a folder, and that folder is going to be that folder that we were working on before. Ooh, a Discord server facing sentiment analysis spot would be so fun. It would be. Okay. Bye. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed. Upgrade to Windows 11. Windows 11 isn't, in my opinion, stable enough yet for me to switch to it for my full-time operating system. Let's just close out of what we had before. Specifically, just in the small UI polish things that they have. I'm kind of a power user, and they're kind of lacking some of the things that I was looking for. But I think it's a cool operating system. I think it's going to be interesting when I do upgrade to it. Okay. Sentiment.py is going to be the name of our file. Like the way you say okay. Okay. Apparently VS Code's not liking my Python setup. But okay. Hit install pandas, because I don't know if I've actually ever used it before. We're just going to install pandas really quickly. And this is what we're going to be using for the tutorial here, which is right here. Maybe use a Jupyter notebook. Okay, perfect. Jupyter is not set up on my computer currently. We can close out of this. Okay. So I don't have Jupyter. Google Colab. Okay, I'll know for the future. That'll be interesting. Pandas. Oh, and then we'll need that reviews file, which we downloaded. Okay. So now we have reviews.csv, which we're going to move into here. Perfect. Whew, okay. That's pretty chunky. Okay. I can see why y'all are recommending using Google Colab for this. Let's try running this. So I did joke at the beginning that we might be completely going a different direction halfway through. We're much more than halfway through. Let's try Google Colab Live. Never touched this before. New notebook. I have used Jupyter notebooks before. Okay. How do we add a file? Anyone recommending how we can add? Here we go. Okay. Sample data, upload. It's uploading. It's fun though. I really enjoy streaming with y'all. I enjoy that I get to show you that I'm not a perfect developer, because I think that's a really cool experience to see. My Spotify just died. Where'd the lo-fi go? I really enjoy just hanging out with y'all, and y'all are able to help me out so much, just like giving me some good advice. I appreciate it. Now we just need to wait just another couple seconds for this to upload. Vibe with the lo-fi. Around 350, 355, we're going to talk about submitting this on DevPost, so y'all can get that experience submitting for this category. Because whether or not we were completely successful in finishing everything that we might have set out to do, we still are building something with sentiment analysis, and that's worth submitting. Favorite song? My favorite songs are all copyright so they can't be played on the stream. This is a stream, like, lo-fi playlist that I know. How big is the file? It's like half a gig. But, oh wait, we have reviews. No, that's ours. That's ours. It doesn't look like the other ones can do sentiment analysis on them, though. 624 meg. But strong internet. Wait, we're gonna run a speed test together. Apparently pretty fast, but this is download. Let's see what my upload's like. Respectable, not amazing, but respectable. Nice clothes there in the background. Thank you. Welcome to my college dorm room. Okay, it's almost done uploading. That download, yeah, it's pretty nice when it's successful. When occasionally I just get randomly kicked off, but normally it's pretty nice. This is, though, for an entire dorm worth of people streaming video. So why does upload differ? Because US internet service providers really like to separate them. It's just a thing. I don't actually really know why they do it. I just know that asymmetric internet's normally the standard here. The wardrobe is adding to the aesthetics. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna try running this. And it worked. Okay. I support wholeheartedly doing all of my Python stuff for things like this now and Google Colab. Thank you all for introducing this to me. Okay. We can skip over the data analysis. We don't need that. We don't need word clouds. Okay, here we go. Classifying. So in this step, we will classify reviews into positive and negative, so we can use this as training data for our sentiment classification model. Positive reviews will be classified as +1, negative reviews will be classified as... Okay, so we actually do need the score. It's almost like the tutorial's walking us through the thing that we needed to do. Okay. So we're gonna copy this. And it looks like we were able to just import everything very, very quickly. I'll be honest, a blank screen is not what I was expecting there. Okay. Oh, we don't actually need, okay, we don't need this. Trash. We don't need the actual graph. We just need this part, the code. We're going to be, okay. Applying there. And now if we look at the head again, should see a new column called sentiment. Let's see if I need to do it below. Hey, we do. Okay, we have a sentiment column. So now that we have that, we don't need word clouds. Here we go, step 5, building the model. So we've redirected from Twitter to just building our own sentiment analysis model in Python, and this is going to be interesting. Take reviews in as input, then we'll come up with a prediction on whether the review is positive or negative. This is a classification task, so we'll train a simple logistic regression model. For reference, take a look at the data frame. There are a few steps we need to take, so data cleaning. We'll be using the summary data to come up with predictions. First, we need to remove all punctuation from the data. Okay. Oh. Keyboard interrupt. What is the data set though? Well, this is running. Scroll back up. Actually, I'm just going to drop this in chat. This is the tutorial that we're currently following. You'll remember that this is like the 5th article that we're reading right now for this. It is the reviews.csv file from Kaggle's Amazon Fine Food Reviews dataset. This is the dataset that we're using right now. Hey, okay, that finally finished. So now that we've done that, we need to split the data frame. So we should only have 2 columns, summary and sentiment. Okay. That works. And now we split the data frame into train and test sets, so that 80% of the data will be used for training and 20% will be used for testing. Have we not imported NumPy? Apparently not. Was that in something that I didn't? Let's try this again. Okay. What year student are you? I'm a freshman at the University of Michigan. Next, we're going to use account vectorization from the scikit-learn library. This will transform the text in our data frame into a bag of words model, which will contain a sparse matrix of integers. The number of occurrences of each word will be counted and printed. Yes, our code will be doing Bob Ross, and we'll be painting our words. So we need to convert the text into a bag of words model, since the logistic regression algorithm cannot understand text. Okay. So now we have the train matrix and the test matrix. We're going to import a logistic regression model, because that's what we're going to be using for this. Split target independent variables, xtrain, ka. So our xtrain is the matrix of everything, and then the y-train is the sentiment value. So we take the words, and then we map it to the sentiment for our x and y, for our dependent and independent variables. And we just do a fit. Interesting. That is a lot easier than I thought this would be. And this is just using linear regression. There would be a lot easier ways of doing this, or not necessarily easier, but more accurate ways of doing this if we were to pull in some machine learning and some natural language processing. Failed converge. Number of iterations reached a limit. Did I like Google Colab? This is pretty nice. I'll be honest. I've done things with Jupyter Notebooks before. This is a really nice interface for it. So the fact that it failed to converge. I wonder what part LR is not defined. LR should be defined because it's trying logistic regression. I'm using sklearn. Yeah, LR is logistic regression, which we've imported from here. Well, and guess what? They've got 7 gigabytes of GPU for you. Whew, whew. We have a big data set. Okay. I've sent you the tutorial that we're using. You know the data set. We're using Google Colab. We're so close and something's going wrong, but we only have 6 minutes before the next stream comes on. So we're gonna pivot and we're gonna start submitting this to DevPost. Because even if we didn't get exactly to where we wanted to go, we have built something that is trying to use data analysis. So, not data analysis, sentiment analysis. I keep misspeaking. Let's search for local hack day learn. And we're on day 3 here. So now that we have a project, and hopefully you can finish this up more on your own. You have the tutorial, you have the Google Colab. Just seeing people in chat. I'll respond to you after we're done with this. We're going to join this hackathon. I'm working solo. I found out about it from Major League Hacking. Where did you hear about it? I found out about it on the Discord. So I'm going to register for this. Bye, get some sleep. Thank you for coming. I hope you learned something. Even if it was just that Googling can be good and the Twitter API isn't as good as it's all racked up to be. We can go ahead and click Start Project. And this is, for those of you who might be slightly lost right now, we're creating a project submission to today's dev post to get points for completing a project that uses sentiment analysis. So this is our sentiment analysis bot. Analysis first steps, because we didn't actually create a bot. This was our first, more like third, attempt at a sentiment analysis hack. And we're going to hit save and continue. In the project details, you can fill this out as much as you want. Because we're just live, I'm just going to quickly do. We wanted to make something using sentiment analysis. Built with, we built it with Jupyter. I believe that's how it's spelled. We're just going to say Python and NumPy and pandas. And then for the try it out link, we're going to go share. Anyone with the link, we're going to copy this link and I'm going to paste it in the try it out section. And I'm going to hit save and continue. And I'm going to make the selection that is learn how to leverage sentiment analysis. We're going to hit save and continue. Submit the project. And bada bing, bada boom. Take a look at that. We have just submitted our project and we can click on this link to go and check it out what we've done. Could have said Google Colab. Oh, I could have. We can go back and edit that later if you wanted to. But for now, we have 2 minutes left in our stream before the next one comes on. So I'm just gonna switch over to just my face, very big for y'all. Thank you so much for being here with me. I know that we redirected like 3 times across different things, from using Twitter to then we briefly were looking at doing something just in VS Code, and then y'all told me about Google Colab, and we tried using that. And we jumped from thing to thing, but we only spent 2 hours on it. So imagine if this was a massive hackathon, or if you had all day, you could actually run with what we were doing in Google Colab. We started something. The link to that tutorial that we were following is in chat, so you can follow along and finish that yourself. And then we actually submitted what we created to DevPost to get points for your guild. Again, I'm Nathan from Major League Hacking. Feel free to make sure you check in because you attended today at hackp.ac/moody to get points for your guild. Join the Discord at discord.mlh.io and tweet at us at mlhacks, at Nathan Dimmer, and use the hashtag #localhackday. Thank you all so much for joining me today. And my time is up with y'all. There's going to be another stream coming on in just a few minutes, and it's going to be amazing, I believe. Let me double check what it is. It is the Blockchain Casino. Learn how to score on Icon. And it's going to be super fun for y'all. Hopefully you stick around for that, and thank you for joining me. Y'all have been amazing. Have a great day.